large human skulls, and skeletons that measured between 7 and 8 feet in height, which, for ancient man, would have been rather significant.
What if everything you learned about history was wrong? Well, archaeology can expose hidden truths and reveal mind-boggling discoveries that shatter our assumptions and expand our horizons. From a lost race of red-haired giants at the Lovelock cave to an unearthed 5,000-year-old natural mummy and a mysterious underwater river, here are 10 remarkable archaeological discoveries that change everything. Number 10. Lost race of red-haired giants. In 1911, 2 miners who were searching for bat guano, a key ingredient in making fertilizer, made a stunning discovery at Lovelock Cave. Inside the cave, they found the remains of ancient humans that were incredibly larger than normal. Some of them were over 8 feet tall, but what was even more intriguing was that they had red hair. According to a report from Paiute Native American Sarah Winnemucca, the area around Lovelock Cave was once home to a race of red-haired giants called the Sitaka. The Sitaka were said to be extremely tall, with some accounts claiming they stood over 10 feet tall. The giants were also said to be hostile and cannibalistic, preying on the Paiute and other neighboring tribes. The story goes that the Paiute and other tribes had enough of the constant menace and united to fight against the Sitaka. After a long and fierce battle, the giants were forced back to Lovelock Cave. The tribes then set fire to the entrance of the cave, trapping the giants inside and killing them all. Fast forward to the early 20th century, archaeologists started excavating Lovelock Cave and found numerous artifacts, including tools, weapons, and textiles. Among these finds were a few examples of human remains, including some with traces of red hair. These discoveries sparked speculation about the existence of a race of red-haired giants. However, scientific analysis of the remains and artifacts has shown that the red-haired individuals were probably members of a prehistoric Native American population. The red hair is thought to be a result of natural pigment changes that happened after death, rather than evidence of a distinct genetic trait. While this is still open to debate, the discovery of these giant skeletons at Lovelock Cave still remains a fascinating mystery that challenges our understanding of human history. Number 9. The giant skeleton of Saudi Arabia. Imagine stumbling upon a human skeleton that is as tall as a 2-story building. That's what happened to a group of gas exploration workers in the Empty Quarter, a vast and desolate desert in Saudi Arabia. Reportedly, they discovered a colossal skeleton that measured about 25 feet in length, along with other bones and artifacts that indicated a lost civilization of giant humans. This mind-boggling discovery has sparked a lot of debate and speculation among locals and scholars. Some believe that the skeleton is a hoax, while some others believe the skeleton is one of the people of A'ad, a legendary race of giants mentioned in the Holy Quran. The Quran tells us that the people of Ad were descendants of Noah's son Shem, and they inhabited a prosperous city called Iram in the Arabian Peninsula. They were gifted with extraordinary strength and size, and they could rip out trees with their bare hands. They were also adept at architecture and engineering, and they erected splendid towers and palaces. But the people of Ad were not grateful for their blessings. They became arrogant and defiant, and they rejected the worship of God and the guidance of the prophet Hud, who was sent to warn them. They challenged God's authority and ridiculed his signs and messages. As a consequence, God unleashed a devastating wind that raged for 7 nights and 8 days, and that annihilated the entire nation of Ad. Only Hud and a few believers survived, and they fled to another land. The saga of Ad is also referenced in the Bible, where they are known as the Edomites, and in the ancient Arabian poetry and folklore. Many historians and archaeologists have attempted to find the ruins of Iram, but so far, no conclusive evidence has been unearthed. Number 8. The Desert Fairy Circles. If you ever travel to the Namibian desert, you might encounter a sight that will leave you speechless: the Namibian Fairy Circles. These are mysterious circles of bare soil that dot the landscape, creating a striking contrast with the green grass that surrounds them. Each circle is about 39 feet across, and they are spaced out evenly across a vast area of 1,100 miles. There are millions of these circles, and no one knows for sure how they came to be. Scientists have been baffled by this phenomenon for decades, and they have come up with various hypotheses to explain it. One of the most popular theories is that the circles are caused by termites that feed on the roots of the grass, creating a gap in the vegetation that allows more water and nutrients to reach the soil. This, in turn, benefits the surrounding plants, which grow more densely and form a ring around the circle. Another theory is that the circles are the result of a self-organizing pattern of plant growth, where the plants compete for water and space and create a regular distribution of gaps. Some researchers even suggest that the circles could be a clue to how life adapts to extreme conditions, and that they could help us understand the origins of life on Earth and other planets. The fairy circles are a wonder to behold, and many tourists visit the region to see them for themselves. They can either walk among the circles or take a scenic flight over them and admire their beauty and symmetry. Some people also believe that the circles have a magical or spiritual significance, and that they are the work of fairies or gods. Whatever the truth may be, the fairy circles are one of the most intriguing and captivating mysteries of the natural world. Now it's time for today's subscriber pick. In this image lie some mystical human-like objects arranged side by side in a sight that messes with your mind, making you wonder what exactly they could be. Are these alien beings from another planet? Or maybe just statues placed in the desert to scare people away from the very dry and inhospitable climate? Do you know what these are, or what they stand for? Let us hear your thoughts in the comments section. With that said, let's keep the ball rolling. Number 7. Headless Falcon Shrine. In the ancient Egyptian port city of Baranaki, a team of researchers made a startling discovery that baffled and intrigued them. A 1,700-year-old shrine dedicated to falcons. The shrine consisted of a pedestal with 15 headless falcons on top of it, and a stone monument depicting two mysterious gods. But that was not the only thing that caught their attention. There was also an iron harpoon lying next to the pedestal, and in one of the back rooms of the shrine, a Greek inscription that read, "It is improper to boil a head in here." What was the meaning behind this strange and gruesome scene? Why were the falcons beheaded? Why was a harpoon placed near them? And what was the reason for the inscription? The researchers tried to find answers to these questions, but they only encountered more mysteries. Some experts suggested that the falcons were sacrificial offerings to the gods, especially the one with a falcon head, who might have been Horus, the god of the sky and kingship. Others proposed that the harpoon was also an offering, perhaps related to fishing or hunting. However, the most puzzling aspect was the inscription that forbade boiling heads. Was it a warning, a taboo, or a joke? The discovery revealed new insights into the complex and diverse religious practices that existed in this ancient port city. The headless falcons and the enigmatic inscription suggested that there were different cults, rituals, and beliefs that coexisted and interacted in Baranaki. The fact that these artifacts were preserved in such a good condition was truly remarkable. The Headless Falcon Shrine remains one of the most fascinating and mysterious archaeological finds in Egypt. Number 6. Otzi. Imagine that you are hiking through the Alps, enjoying the breathtaking scenery and the fresh air. Suddenly you spot something that makes your blood run cold. A human corpse frozen in a glacier. This is not a scene from a horror movie, but a real-life discovery that shocked the world in 1991. German tourists Helmut and Erika Simon were taking a shortcut down from the summit when they came across a rocky ravine. There, they saw what looked like a backpacker who had fallen and died. But they soon realized that they had found something much more ancient and extraordinary. They had found Otzi, the Iceman, a natural mummy that dates back to about 3,230 BCE. Otzi is the oldest natural mummy ever found in Europe, and one of the oldest in the world. He died about 5,000 years ago, during the Copper Age, and his body was preserved by the ice and snow. His body is in amazing condition, considering how long he has been buried. He still has his skin, hair, organs, and even his tattoos. He also has his clothes and tools with him, which tell us a lot about his culture and lifestyle. He was wearing a fur coat, leather shoes, and a copper axe. He was carrying a bow and arrows, a knife, and a quiver. He was about 45 years old, 5 feet 3 inches tall, and weighed about 110 pounds. He had brown eyes, dark hair, and blood type O. Otzi has been a treasure trove for researchers, who have learned many things about him and his time. They have analyzed his DNA, his diet, his health, and his cause of death. They have found out that he was a farmer, that he ate bread, meat, and fruits, that he had arthritis, parasites, and dental problems, and that he was killed by an arrow wound in his back. They have also traced his ancestry and found out that he has living relatives in Europe today. Otzi is a remarkable discovery that has given us a rare and fascinating glimpse into the past. He is a window into the life and death of a Copper Age man who lived and died in the Alps thousands of years ago. Number 5. Dinosaur unearthed. In the remote wilderness of Zimbabwe, a team of scientists made an astonishing discovery that changed the history of paleontology. They unearthed the remains of Africa's oldest dinosaur, the Emberisaurus rothii, which lived over 230 million years ago. This remarkable find was the result of 2 expeditions that took place in 2017 and 2019, and it revealed new insights into the evolution and diversity of dinosaurs. The name Emberisaurus rothii comes from the local Shona language, and it means the lizard of the Mberi River. The species name rothii is a tribute to the paleontologist Michael Roth, who was the first to report the presence of fossils in the region. The Emberisaurus rothii was a small herbivorous dinosaur that belonged to the group of sauropodomorphs, the ancestors of the giant long-necked dinosaurs. It measured about 6 feet in length and weighed around 60 pounds. It had a slender body, a long neck, and a small head. It used its long neck to reach for vegetation in high places, and it had sharp teeth to slice through the plants. The discovery of the Emberisaurus rothii is a significant breakthrough for the field of paleontology, as it sheds light on the early history of dinosaurs in Africa. The finding suggests that Zimbabwe was once a hotspot for dinosaur diversity, and that there may be more undiscovered species waiting to be found. The Emberisaurus rothii is a rare and precious fossil that tells us a fascinating story about the ancient world. Number 4. Gigantopithecus Blacky, largest ape ever lived. When we think of giants, we usually imagine mythical beings or creatures of legend. But what if we told you that there was a real giant that lived on Earth, and that it was an ape? This is the Gigantopithecus Blacky, the largest hominoid that ever existed. This colossal ape may have reached 10 feet in height and weighed an astounding 1,000 pounds. It lived a few 100,000 years ago during the Pleistocene epoch and shared the world with our own human ancestors. Gigantopithecus Blacky was a distant relative of the orangutan, and it inhabited the forests of Asia, mainly in China, India, and Vietnam. It was a herbivore, and it fed on bamboo, fruits, and other plants. It had a massive jaw and huge teeth, which helped it crush and chew its food. It also had a thick coat of fur, which protected it from the cold and predators. Most of the fossils of Gigantopithecus Blacky have been found in China, where they were preserved in limestone caves and sinkholes. These natural formations created ideal conditions for fossilization and allowed scientists to study the bones and teeth of this giant ape. Based on these fossils, scientists have been able to estimate its size and shape and reconstruct its appearance and behavior. The discovery and size of Gigantopithecus Blacky have fascinated and puzzled many people, especially those who are interested in cryptozoology, the study of hidden or unknown animals. Some cryptozoologists have used Gigantopithecus Blacky as evidence for the possible existence of a Yeti or Bigfoot-like creature, which could be a descendant or a relative of this ancient ape. However, Gigantopithecus Blacky is not a mythical beast, but a real animal that lived and died on Earth. The first formal discovery and naming of this species happened in 1935, when a German paleontologist examined a fossilized molar that was bought from a Chinese apothecary. Since then, more fossils have been found and analyzed, revealing more details about this remarkable creature. But there is still much to learn about Gigantopithecus Blacky, and we can only wonder what other secrets and surprises it might hold. Number 3. The Baltic Sea Anomaly. Deep under the surface of the Baltic Sea, there lies a mysterious object that has puzzled and intrigued the world for a decade. It is the Baltic Sea Anomaly, a strange underwater formation that was discovered in 2011 by a Swedish diving team called Ocean X. The anomaly is a massive object that measures about 200 feet in length and 26 feet in height. It has an almost circular shape, with features that resemble a staircase, a ramp, and a dark corridor. It also has a rough texture and a metallic appearance. Its unusual shape and composition have sparked countless theories and speculations about what it is and where it came from. Some of the theories suggest that the anomaly could be a sunken ancient city, perhaps a remnant of the legendary Atlantis or another lost civilization. Others propose that it might be a crashed UFO or an alien structure, possibly related to the Roswell incident or other extraterrestrial encounters. Some even think that it could be a secret military base or a portal to another dimension. The theories range from the realistic to the fantastic, reflecting the mysterious and enigmatic nature of the discovery. However, not all of the theories are based on imagination or fantasy. Some of them are based on scientific investigations and analyses. The Ocean X team and other researchers have conducted several expeditions to the anomaly, and they have collected samples and data from the site. They have found out that the anomaly is mainly made of glacial deposits and volcanic rock, and that it dates back to the last ice age, about 20,000 years ago. Based on these findings, some researchers believe that the anomaly is most likely a natural geological phenomenon, albeit a very rare and unusual one. They think that the anomaly was formed by glacial movements or volcanic eruptions, and that its shape and features are the result of erosion and sedimentation. However, not everyone is convinced by this explanation. Some still believe that there is more to the anomaly than meets the eye. They point out that the anomaly has a peculiar appearance that does not match any known natural formation. They also note that there are what seem to be skid marks on the ocean floor near the anomaly, suggesting that it may have moved or been dragged by some force. They also claim that the anomaly has some mysterious effects on the surrounding environment and equipment. The Ocean X team reported that they experienced strange electrical malfunctions and interference when they approached the anomaly, which some have attributed to a mysterious energy source or an unknown force emanating from the object. While no definitive explanations for these phenomena have been provided, they have only added to the mystery and fascination surrounding the Baltic Sea Anomaly. This anomaly is one of the most intriguing and captivating underwater discoveries ever made. Like many other underwater discoveries, the true origins and purpose of the anomaly may never be fully revealed, leaving us to wonder what other secrets and surprises lie hidden beneath the oceans. Number 2. The underwater river in Mexico. One of the most amazing and stunning underwater phenomena in the world can be found in Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula, where a natural wonder awaits those who dare to explore it: an underwater river. This incredible sight looks like something out of a fantasy, but it is very real and very fascinating. The river is actually a layer of hydrogen sulfide, a gas that forms when organic matter decomposes in the absence of oxygen. This layer accumulates at a depth of around 100 feet in the cenote, a deep sinkhole filled with water, and it creates the illusion of a river flowing under the sea. The hydrogen sulfide layer is a product of the rich biodiversity and geological history of the region, where the cenote was formed by the collapse of a limestone cave. The layer acts as a barrier between the fresh water above and the salt water below, creating a distinct and contrasting environment. The fresh water is clear and transparent, allowing divers to see the surrounding scenery. The salt water is dark and murky, hiding the secrets of the deep. As divers descend through the fresh water, they reach the hydrogen sulfide layer, which looks like a thick, cloudy river. The layer has a strong smell and a sour taste, and it is toxic to most living organisms. The layer also has some features that resemble a riverbank, such as fallen trees, branches, and leaves, which add to the illusion. Diving in Cenote Angelita is a surreal and unforgettable experience, as it offers a rare and spectacular view of the underwater world. The underwater river is a mysterious and beautiful natural phenomenon that reminds us of the wonders and surprises that lie hidden beneath the surface of our planet's waters. Number 1. Severed hands. In the ancient city of Avaris, Egypt, archaeologists made a horrifying and shocking discovery that revealed a dark and violent aspect of ancient history. They found 16 human hands buried in 4 different pits, but there was something very strange about them. All 16 hands were right hands, and there were no left hands at all. Experts say that this is the first physical evidence of an ancient practice where soldiers would chop off the right hand of their enemies and trade them for gold. The pits were located in front of a room that was probably a throne room, and they were dug in a later phase of the palace. 2 of the pits had 1 hand each, while the other 2 had 14 hands together. The hands were buried in a ritualistic way, with the palms facing down. Why did they cut off the right hand of their foes? According to Dr. Manfred Batak, the director of the excavations in Avaris, it was a way of taking away their strength and power forever. The right hand was also chosen to make it easier to count the dead and reward the victors. But who started this gruesome tradition? The Hyksos, a foreign dynasty that ruled Egypt between the 16th and 17th centuries BCE, are believed to be the ones who introduced this practice. However, there is no evidence of this practice in the Hyksos' possible homeland of northern Canaan, so it is unclear if the Hyksos learned it from the Egyptians or the other way around, or if it came from somewhere else entirely. The discovery of these hands is a chilling and fascinating glimpse into the ancient world of war and brutality. The fact that all 16 hands are right hands makes this discovery even more mysterious and intriguing. Share with us in the comments, which of these discoveries do you find more intriguing or terrifying? Thanks for watching, fam. For a more thrilling video, click now on the next video that pops up on your screen. It's unbelievable.